Hi. Good afternoon. So, I said I was going to start at 6 o'clock. Guys, it's wind. But I just got back. We did a cruise today. It was an early party cruise. So we did a cruise today. So I'm going to try to get this done. This wind is not cooperating with me right now, but I'm going to give it a few minutes. Get on. Again, I will always post these after. So I'm struggling with the wind, y'all. I always post these after. So even if you don't get on now, we'll be able to converse and watch later. So hey, happy Friday. So Sabrina on the way. Okay. So I am in Jamaica, you guys. So I am on trip number 4, I think, for the summer. Trip number 4. So I'm in Montego Bay, and it is gorgeous. It is beautiful. So today we went on a party cruise, like early. So in Jamaica out here, they are having a curfew, of course, because of COVID. There's a curfew in place. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get situated and get to a good spot. Let me let y'all see this view real quick, because this water is beautiful. This water is beautiful. Oh, man. So let me try to set up. You know, I like to get a spot. I can't really see that. Let's see. Let's try here. Let's see. Is that better? I think that may be a good spot. Y'all, I'm itching. Like, I don't know if it's the sun or it's my sunblock. I think I may have a little bit of sunburn. Because black people burn too. Better believe it. All right. So, let's get started. Y'all forgive me for being all over the place. Trying to get this done. The wind was not cooperating, just blowing. But let me get situated. I'm going to get to, there it is, the post. Because you guys know that I usually post off of a topic that was discussed and talked about during the week or previously. So the topic today, let me back up. Let me say this. I am not a relationship expert. I don't claim to be. I'm just a black woman living this life and doing the damn thing and enjoying it. Just enjoying it. So, let me get started. There are people kind of walking around me, guys, so I want to make sure I don't try not to get interrupted. I may find a better spot. Let's see. This might be the best spot. There's some people climbing over the rocks right now. All right. So I'm going to get started. So the topic today, so I posted this, what's today, guys? I posted this some days ago. And the topic, it says, stop assuming single women are unhappy. Stop assuming single women are unhappy. That's the topic. That's the meme. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm holding the phone right. If y'all can see that. Okay? So, of course, we're going to take this topic and subject, and we're going to add, stop assuming single men and women or women are unhappy. But, of course, I'm a woman, so I'm going to come from a female perspective on this. And remember, this is my personal opinion based on my personal experience. Everything we do here is to try to give someone some insight on something they may be dealing with, some positive encouragement, some thoughts that may be able to help in your situation and where you might be dealing, where you might be going with something. So, the topic, stop assuming single women are unhappy. So I'm going to say, me personally, So I've been married, and I am now divorced. I've been single before. I was single before I got married. And now I'm single again. No problem. So, people come... Okay, so when the divorce happened, right? I got a lot of inbox messages. Y'all, sorry. Like, I think I'm the sun or something. I'm allergic. I'm reacting to something. So anyway, I got a lot of inbox messages. And I got a lot of text messages. And I think the normal thing for people to say is, oh, I'm sorry. Because in some areas, in some ways, in some lights, guys, I'm sorry. I may have to hold my phone. Okay. In some lights, people compare divorce to a death. I've been told that. I've been told that divorce can be sometimes labeled in the same framework as a death, someone dying. So I got a lot of inbox messages. I got a lot of, are you okay? I got a lot of, oh my gosh, I didn't know, things like that, right? And I appreciate all the love. I appreciate everyone reaching out, wanting to make sure I was good, and I was good. I was good, and I am good. So to the topic, stop assuming single women are unhappy. So whether you've been married before, or you're single, or you've been divorced and you're single, this applies to you. Again, I'm coming from a female perspective. This applies to you. So I can't tell you how to feel as far as being single and based on your breakup or however, whether you've been married before, never been married, in a relationship, was committed to someone, and now that you're single. I can't tell you how to feel. But what I will say is, it is not the end of the world. You have to be happy and complete in yourself before going into a relationship. If you're not happy and complete in yourself going into a relationship, when and if that relationship ends, you're going to find yourself and possibly find yourself in a position where you're broken and you're torn, and it's really, really difficult to bounce back or get back. And I'm not saying, everybody's different. I'm not saying that you bounce and automatically you just bounce back and you're good to go. But only you know what was going on in that relationship that caused that. Only you know what was going on in that relationship that made you be like, whoo, I'm glad that's over with. I'm glad that's over with. But I've learned the important thing is for us to know ourselves. So, know yourself, know what you need, know what you like, know what your purpose is. When you know those things and you go into a relationship and things may not work out, when that relationship ends, it doesn't take you out. It doesn't take you out. It's so, so important for us to focus on ourselves. When we focus on ourselves, when we build those relationships that surround us, and we build those based on our needs, it's important to build based off of your needs. There's so many people that want to pull and take, and they want you to do things one way. They want you to do things their way. They think you should do things the way they think you should do it. It's okay to be selfish. It is okay to sometimes say, no, I'm good. No, that's not what I want. No, that's not what I need. So when you build yourself up and you understand who you are and you learn who you are, and we're forever learning, but when you know who you are, no one can strip away or take away your happiness. No one can strip away or take away the things that bring you joy and bring you life. No one can do that. They can't do that. This is a better, I think. The sun is shining a bit. This is no one can take that away from you. So, being single doesn't mean you're unhappy. That is such a negative connotation to being single. I know you know, kind of in groups, it seems like everything is, oh, the single person this, oh, the single person that. And everybody feels like the single person is the lesser in the group or whatever. Not so at all. Not so at all. So, first thing, find your happiness. Know that you are great within yourself. Find your happiness. If you have never been married, let me say this. If you've never been married and you're dating and you're at the point of courting, you may get to the point of marrying someone, please, 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 please do some premarital counseling. Take some premarital counseling, because in premarital counseling, those are the times where you may learn something about yourself and you may learn something about that person. But if you're single and you've never been married, if you're single and you're not necessarily even looking to be married, take the time to heal from childhood traumas. Take the time to heal from just past relationship issues and things. And I'm such an advocate for counseling, you all. I am a big advocate for counseling. Counseling for me personally was and is the best thing I've ever done for myself. Because sometimes there are things, I need to get in this water. Sometimes there are things that erupt in us that we don't realize, and things that erupt in us that we did not know until we get in a situation where we're sharing our time and space with someone else. So if you know you have some things going on, if you know you have some issues where, you grew up in an abusive household, anything like that, get some counseling for yourself so you can know what your triggers are. You can know what things you like, what things you don't like. Because being a single person, you have to work on things just as well as couples do. You have to work on things, especially if you're going toward a life of being in a relationship with someone. So focus on you, get some counseling, learn to cope and deal. When you can cope and deal with your own personal issues, your bills, issues at work, when you can cope and deal with those things in a positive way, you're only going to bring a positive perspective to someone else's life. You're only going to bring a positive perspective to someone else's life. Because you may be that sound voice. You may be that peace that they don't even get and they don't have and they don't know of. So being happy and content in yourself before trying to be that for or with someone else is so major and so crucial for your future. For your future happiness, for your future endeavors and anything you take part in. Yeah, it is so important. So, point. And I like to refer back to what we're talking about when we're done. Is stop assuming single women are unhappy. Stop assuming single women or men are unhappy. So, I am now divorced. I'm single again. Okay? And when I have conversations with people, particularly with guys, when I have conversations and they ask me, why are you single? And my first response is, because I love me. That's my first response. Because I love me is why I'm single. And there's a level of BS that I will not accept. There's a level of inconsistency that I will not accept. There's a level in life, I have an expectation for myself, which means I have expectations of others. So why am I single? Because I love myself. Because the relationship that I was in was not productive to growth and building, and it wasn't conducive to my growth. Let me put it like that. So, it made me realize more and more, it made me realize more and more that I had things to work on for myself. And I'm not saying it was a one-way street. It was not just him. It was not just me. It was both of us. But I couldn't focus in on him. I could only focus in on me. I could only focus in on the things that I was doing. I could only focus in on the corrections that I needed to make my life happy, to put my life back in perspective where it needed to be. That's all I could do. How you doing? That's all I could do. I could only focus on the things that I knew I need to do to survive and to get better. So, again, my response is I'm single because I want to be happy, because it's necessary for my mental, it's necessary for my physical, it's necessary for everything for me to understand that people that are in my life and people that are around me, if they're not being productive, then they don't need to be there. So, stop assuming that single people are not happy. So I had some plans. I had plans to travel with my husband. I had plans to buy a house with my husband. I had plans to build more businesses with my husband. And let me tell y'all why y'all see continually me continuing to go on and on and on. Why y'all see me here in Jamaica. Why y'all see me in Miami. Why y'all see me planning trips and planning things. Let me tell y'all why. Because even before him, I had plans. It was just an addition to my plans, adding another person. Even before him, I had plans. And although the relationship ended, my drive, my ambition, my plans, my level for the things that I wanted in my life, my experiences, did not change. They did not change. If anything, you all, if anything, guys, they broadened. It was like, wait a minute, what was I waiting for? Now, honestly, there was a wait for a reason. You don't want to do things without your spouse. And he just wasn't positioned to do the things that I'm doing now. And not that I didn't want to, be a team on that, because I was. Hence the reason I waited so long to do certain things. But when that ended, that just gave me the green light to get back on my single grind, to get back on my single mind, to get back on my single mental, and do the things that I want to do, the things that I need to do to build my business, to build my growth and my wealth, to build me financially. It just reminded me, if everything in relationship in your life doesn't remind you of why you should do better in every situation, or why you should do better and how you can do better, then you don't need it in your life. You don't need it in your life. So, the reason why you all see me just still moving and shaking and doing things is because that's where I was before he even came along. That's where my mindset was before he even came along. So single people, get your focus. Get your focus. It's never too late to get your focus. It's never too late to start over. If you're starting over with a positive attitude, if you're starting over trusting, I trust God for everything. I trust God for everything. And whatever your belief factor is, whoever you deal with, or whatever power you deal with, source of power to build you and strengthen you, mine is God. I trust in him. I appreciate him. I thank him for everything. I thank him for the things that he allows. I thank him for the things that he does not allow, the corrections that he makes. But build yourself, build your own wealth, build your own mental. It's one thing to have somebody to build and grow with. It's another thing to be doing it on your own. So when you do decide, if you do decide to go into a relationship, if you do decide to get married. You're bringing something to the table. You're bringing something to the table. I truly believe that a man should find his wife. And when a man finds his wife, I believe a man should be prepared to take care of his wife. He shouldn't have his hand out. He should be prepared to take care of his wife. He should be able to give her the things that she needs to survive. She needs to survive. Because when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. And if you have a good thing, then you need to come prepared to take care of that good thing. Now, ladies, let me say this. There's nothing wrong with supporting your man. I don't have a problem, did not have a problem in being supportive. But make sure you have the right type of man. My man does not have to make more money than I make. It's not necessary. But what he does have to do is he has to come to the table with something. He has to come to the table building and planning and growing. That's how it works for me. That's how it's going to work. And when that doesn't happen and I don't see that, I go back to my single mindset because you came to me. You asked me to be your wife. And you're not prepared to take care of me. So brothers, side note, if you find a woman that you want and you decide you want her to be your wife, be prepared to take care of her. If you're not, then y'all go through the courting process. Take that process and go through it and prepare yourself to bring her into your home or bring her into you all's home. Sidebar. Okay, so the reason, you all, I'm able to still be and do how I'm doing is because that was my mindset before a husband came into the picture. Growth was my mindset before I said I do. Growth was my mindset when I signed the divorce papers to say I no longer do. Growth was my mindset after it all ended. Growth was my mindset. My personal growth, my mental growth, my financial growth, my physical growth. So going to the gym and working out, taking trips, traveling, doing the things that I wanted to do that either were delayed, because I never say couldn't. They were delayed, and they had a purpose. They were delayed for a reason. But take the time to focus on yourself. Build yourself. Build your wealth, however that is. If you want to go back to school, go back to school. If you don't. If you want to start a new business, do your homework, do your due diligence, and learn the things that you need to be able to go back and build and do what you want to do. There is so much out there available, especially to black women. And I'm not going to lie, y'all, I'm taking full advantage of everything that is offered and given to me. Everything. I have no problem with asking. I have no problem with receiving. Because if that's where I've been set up in life, some people have egos and they feel like, oh, I can't and I have to this and I have to that. Squash that. You better ask and you better obtain. So, I'm going to end this because I'm supposed to be poolside. I told my people I would be back. I didn't want to go real long. Of course, I feel like I was rambling. I was a little all over the place. The wind wasn't working with me. I'm itching. I'm going to get in the shower after the pool. But please understand and know, single people aren't unhappy. Single people aren't walking around looking at your relationships saying, oh, woe is me. Single people are not the epitome of failure. I also posted the other day, comment, it just came to my head. Sometimes thoughts just come and I make little memes out of them. But I posted something and I'm kind of paraphrasing it. But it pretty much said, just because your relationship ended, just because your relationship failed, does not make you a failure. Just because your relationship failed does not make you a failure. What makes you a failure is if you don't learn and do better. That is what makes you a failure. If you don't learn and do better, that's where you fail. So if your relationship ended, it doesn't make you a failure. There are different reasons. Now, if you didn't do right, if you cheated, if you were abusive, if you were manipulative, all of those things, then that's different. That's different. They failed because you were a failure, and you failed at taking care of your significant other. But if you did all you could do, knowing that no one is perfect, there is no perfection in one person, there's growth and building. If you did all you could do and you were trying to build and you were trying to do better and they didn't receive that, that's on them. That is on them. You keep going, you keep grinding, you keep learning, you keep smiling. So there is no pretense. I don't pretend. I don't put on airs for people. It's not necessary. Nobody pays my bills. Nobody is telling me when and why and how. So I don't have to answer to anybody. I don't have a reason to impress anyone. You know what I wake up to impress every day? I'm going to tell you. There are 3 people that I wake up daily to impress. 3 people. 4 people that I wake up daily to impress. The first person I wake up daily to impress is me, is myself. When I get up in the morning, I'm thinking, how I want to do my hair. We'll get my hair done. What am I wearing? How can I build today? How can I encourage someone today? How can I show gratefulness today? How can I be better today? That is who I try to impress. That is the number one first person I try to impress on a daily basis. If it doesn't look right to me, if it doesn't feel right to me, doesn't matter what anyone else says. I'm going to be like, I don't really like my hair like that, so let me change it. Or I don't really like that idea of why I should do X, Y, Z, and change it. The second, third, and fourth people that I try to impress on a daily basis are named Rajan Wall, Charisma Wall, and Caden Simmons. Y'all know who those people are? Some of y'all know who those people are. Rajan Wall is my firstborn. That is my oldest son. And even though he is overseas in London and he doesn't see me on a daily basis, we don't even talk. We have had our mother-son issues. We have had our knockdown drag-outs. We have had our I'm mad at you on both sides. And I can't stand you today on both sides. But I long to impress that young man. The second person, Charisma Wall, my baby girl, I long to impress. And again, as all relationships, that mother-daughter dynamic, woo, y'all, because y'all know what? Both of them are just like me. So we tend to butt heads. But me and that girl, that is my girl. That's my munchkin. I love her. And I long to impress her on a daily basis. Why? Because as a woman, I want her to see her mother, which she may not have seen me before. She's seen me down. She's seen me broken. She's seen me do things the way I thought was right, but ended up not being right. But she's also seen me build and prosper and be an entrepreneur and work on relationships and change ways and go to counseling. That is the number 2 person I want to impress on a daily. And the number 3 person is my nephew, Caden. God has saw fit that Caden has lived in my household the majority of his life. God has saw fit that I take a parental role on for Caden. That is my baby. I'm trying to do better with him than I did with my 2. And I don't get it right all the time, but I'm focusing and I'm working on it because every day I want him to say, "Ooh, auntie. Yes, auntie." That, like, he is my, like, that's my bodyguard. If y'all see I post pictures, I'm like, that's my bodyguard. And he has an expectation of me. And I have a higher expectation to hold when it comes to him because he's in a position where he's not with either of his parents. So I want him to see and know how parents should treat you, how those relationships should be. And I can't teach him how to be a man, but my job is to focus, and any man that I bring in my life, I need to make sure that they're a good example for him. They're a good example for him. And when I make those mistakes, I make sure I talk to him and I apologize and I tell him and show him this is how life goes sometimes. You can't always have it the best way, can't always, but what you can do is work and change. So, the 4 people that I try to impress, myself and my children. Point blank period. I gives a damn. I love y'all. I love y'all, but please understand what I'm saying. I don't care what y'all think when it comes to what I'm doing and what I'm saying. Now, that doesn't mean I don't take good advice, because if you have good advice, then I'm going to accept that good advice. A fool pushes away good advice. A fool does not accept positive. A fool does not accept positive correction. That's what a fool does. And I try my best not to be a fool. So, live your life. Single people, be happy. Understand who you are. Know who you are. Love who you are. Be who you are. Be who you want to be. And if you find yourself not being that, if you find those things not working out for you in your life, then sit down and reevaluate. Do a checklist of what I did and what I'm doing and what's not working and why it's not working. Love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. Travel, build, sleep in, do nothing, but do nothing with a purpose. Understand? Do nothing with a purpose, but love your singlehood. Is that a word? Singlehood, singleness. How about that? Love your singleness. Build for yourself. Build your kingdom. And if and when you decide to go into a relationship with someone, you can bring something to the table. And you're not in a position of taking away. All right, y'all. I love you. I'm going back poolside. I'm going to get on this beach tomorrow with my nephew because he hung out in the kids club today. And he doesn't want to leave. He's still there. So I guess I'll take a little bit of peace and serenity with myself. All right. Love y'all. Love yourself. Build for yourself. Being single does not mean you're unhappy.